Denver Broncos left tackle Garett Bolles said the Broncos have to just look back and laugh at themselves after last night's embarrassing performance against the Detroit Lions. In week 3, after going into Miami and getting embarrassed by the Dolphins 70-20, Garett Bolles had a viral clip go around that said that he was tired of this you-know-what and that this same crap had been going on in the locker room for so long and he was fed up with it. Well, now, after going into Detroit on Saturday night and getting their butts kicked in fairly similar fashion, Garett Bolles is actually one of the most level-headed guys in the locker room right now and really is painting a positive picture on things. Let's take a listen to what he told Scotty Gange of 9 Sports.
I know I've got punched in the mouth, but what seemed different today, I guess?
We're 6-2 in the last 8 weeks. I mean, we're playing some, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. That's just, today we lost and, we still got 3 important games left. 3 games where we got to win to get us into the playoffs, and I think we're just going to take our lickings, and this is a long season, and we did some good things tonight, but we came out flat. We got to fix that thing and then get ready for next week.
What do you think was that coming out flat? I mean, could you say you played 3 road games in 13 days?
I don't think you can pinpoint it. It just happens. You can't win them all. So, like I said, I don't think it's any specific thing that you can pinpoint or anything it is or what anyone wants to say. They can say what they want, but I mean, at the end of the day, we lost. You lose some and you win some. We're 6-2 in the last 8 weeks. I mean, that's a hell of a turnaround. So we got 3 more games to finish strong in this season, and that's exactly what we're going to do. There's no lost faith in this locker room at all. We all love each other. We all have our heads high, and you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, and go from there.
Well, the Broncos certainly put up a laughable performance against Detroit, especially up front. Their offensive line was dominated by the Detroit Lions' defensive line, and their defensive line isn't really all that noteworthy aside from Aiden Hutchinson. Aside from that, they really don't have a lot of high-end players on that line, and they still went in and thoroughly dominated this Broncos O-line. Throughout the course of the season, the Broncos O-line has handled some of the best pass rushes in the entire NFL really well. From the Kansas City Chiefs to the Cleveland Browns, of all teams that I wouldn't have thought they would lay an egg against, it's against the Detroit Lions. Very similar to the Houston Texans, where really they just have one strong edge rusher, and outside of that, not a whole lot else. But the Broncos just got thoroughly dominated in the trenches in that game. Garett Bolles, I'm really happy to see, is maintaining sort of this level head here, and I'm hoping that that kind of attitude translates into the entire rest of the locker room, because the Broncos, if they win the next 3 games, odds are good they're going to be in the playoffs. They have a 90% chance of making the playoffs if they win their next 3 games. So, for all intents and purposes, they control their own destiny, and as long as they stay the course in these final 3 games, they should, in theory at least, win out. But it's going to be tough, and it's going to be a test of mental resilience and discipline, and I'm really glad to see Garett Bolles has this mindset. And as far as just what went wrong in that game against Detroit, Bolles was right. It was not one thing or another that specifically limited this team. It was all of it. The offensive line was dominated. Our defensive line got gashed up front in the run game. That I'm a little bit less surprised by, because Detroit has one of the best offensive lines in the game, and Denver Broncos' run defense has just been really, really bad all throughout the course of the season, even throughout the course of the last 7 weeks when they were going on that 6-1 streak. So I feel like the Broncos were always set for a bad matchup against Detroit. Just the way that they went out there and played, it really was laugh-worthy, and I'm glad that Garett Bolles isn't ready to throw in the towel, and that just shows that the rest of this locker room has that same mindset, hopefully, and that they'll go in home next week against the New England Patriots, and they will be able to at least have a much better bounce back performance. And if they can do that, then I feel a lot more confident heading into the final 2 weeks against both the Chargers and the Raiders. All right, Broncos country, how do you feel about Garett Bolles' mindset as we enter these final 3 games of the season? And are you a lot happier about him going into this stretch than we did, obviously, him coming out of the Miami game the last time the Broncos truly got their ass kicked? kicked? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are 2 free and easy ways to show your support, helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.